Hello there. Today we are going to talk about how long you should wait before you have sex after you have had a baby. And I know that the men are really interested in this topic because a lot of men struggle to get their wives back into the sack after they have had a baby. Really, there's no required time to start having sex after you have had a baby, but most healthcare workers would recommend a period of 4 to 6 weeks because, first of all, after you've had a baby, whether it is by cesarean section or by spontaneous vaginal delivery, your body needs to heal. If it's a cesarean section, your scar, your incision needs to heal. The uterus needs to heal, your wound needs to heal from the incision that was done, the skin has to heal. If it is a spontaneous vaginal delivery, you may have had an episiotomy. An episiotomy is a very small cut we give you between your vagina and your rectum. We cut it a little bit to increase the size of the vaginal orifice so that the baby's head can be delivered. And even if you don't get an episiotomy, a lot of the time with a spontaneous vaginal delivery, you have a few perineal tears that need to heal. Okay, so your body needs to heal from all these injuries so that when you start having sex, there's little or no pain. And that is why we recommend that you wait a couple of weeks. Some people also believe that waiting a couple of weeks will reduce the risk of infection because at the time you deliver, your womb and the inside of your womb is literally open to the external environment. So it is better not to put anything inside it so early and so quickly. Apart from your body needing to heal, oh, that reminds me of my own experience the first time I had a baby. I mean, if you've never been there before, you never understand. But after you've had a baby, you are sore all over. And I remember that the first pee after my first delivery, it took me like 30 minutes to pee. For every 2 millimeters, 2 mils of urine that would come out, I would wait because it was painful and it was burning. And it was the same with even having to pass through. And so a woman is generally sore and needs to heal after delivery. But that said, some of the women, please, we take too long and we give our husbands excuses. There are people who have not gone back to sex 6 months, 1 year after delivery, and your husband will be tired. And even if he's a Holy Ghost filled man, at a point you start looking elsewhere. So let us make it a priority to find ways to get back into the sack after we have had babies. So back to our main topic. Apart from your body needing to heal, with the birth of a new baby, there's a lot more responsibility. You are tired, the baby consistently and constantly needs to be fed, to be changed, to be bathed. And so if you don't have a very good support system, you find yourself constantly tired. And by the time you are going to bed, if you get any sleep at all, the last thing on your mind is sex. So what we can do to help in this regard, husbands, or even for us as women, let us arrange for support. Let us have people who are helping us to take care of the babies after we have had children. A lot of the men struggle at this point because suddenly they feel like they are not a part of the family. And these are things that men will not talk about. Your husband will not come and complain that since you had a baby, you don't talk to him, you don't find out about his day. But all these things affect the men, and sometimes they lose their identity. They don't know whether they are the husband, whether they are the houseboy, because the only time you call them is if you need them to run an errand. So when we have babies, it is very important that we bring the men along, carry them along with us. Otherwise, they get lost. And before you know it, they engage in things that will take their attention off you as a woman. The other thing about having a new baby is that sometimes, especially if you are a new mother, but even for people who have had babies previously, when we breastfeed, the babies don't latch on properly to the nipple. They put just the nipple in their mouth instead of putting nipple and part of the areola. So you end up with a lot of sores around your nipple, and your breast is consistently tender. And sometimes, even if you are not lucky, you get what we call mastitis, infection of the breast. And so the last thing on your mind is sex, because you are sore at the top, you are sore at the bottom. And so you need to be looking at all these things that can prevent you from getting back into the sack after delivering, either vaginally or via CS. So, as you prepare to go back to sexual activity after having a baby, you may need to start from non penetrative sex. Start by building intimacy, cuddling, kissing, things that would build intimacy without necessarily leading to penetrative sex. And when you begin to have sex after a baby, you should expect a little bit of pain or discomfort. In some women, there's a little bit of dryness because during breastfeeding, your estrogen levels are down, and so you don't have as much lubrication as you did before. And you can help yourself by getting some lubricant and some pain relief. Eventually, all these will pass and your body will come back to normal. One other thing you may expect after delivery is that your pelvic floor muscles will become weaker than they used to be. And so your vagina may become less tight or a bit loose compared to before you had a baby. You may have a little bit of decline in your bowel or bladder control. And so you realize that if you sneeze too hard or you laugh too hard, you may see a little bit of urine escape into your underwear. And you can solve all of these by beginning your pelvic floor muscle exercises very early. That is the Kegels exercises. So Kegels exercises are very simple exercises that you can do as a woman. Even men can do it as well, to strengthen your pelvic floor muscles, to help your vagina to become stronger. You know, as women, when we orgasm, the pelvic floor muscle is an important part of what creates orgasm for us. And so if it is weak, you may not even enjoy sex like you used to before. So what is Kegel's exercise? Simply put, imagine yourself, being very hard pressed for, you want to pass urine, and you realize that as you are struggling to wait till you find the bathroom, involuntarily you clench your pelvic floor muscle. That contraction that you do when you are waiting, you really want to pee but you are looking for a bathroom and you haven't found one. That activity right there is Kegels. So you do the clenching, then you release. You clench for a few seconds, you release for a few seconds, and you can do this 15 to 20 cycles at a time. And if you're able to do this maybe 2 or 3 times every day, maybe in the morning, and when you are doing it, nobody sees it. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm doing a Kegels, so it becomes a part of you. Every day you do 20 or 30 cycles, you clench for a few seconds, 15, 20 seconds, then you release. You clench and you release. It helps your pelvic floor muscles to become stronger, and you come back to your former self. Your vagina and your orgasm goes back to normal, and your husband is able to enjoy you better. In addition, for some women, immediately after they have delivered, fertility returns. And so it is not that because you are breastfeeding, you forget about pregnancy. Please think about contraception. If you are not ready to have a baby anytime soon, once your periods resume, but even before your periods resume, you should arrange for contraception. And I believe that these few pointers will be able to help us as women after we have had our babies to go back to the sack. Let's not keep the men waiting. For men, sex is like food, it is like air. So you having a baby does not, you don't have a maternity leave. Please, when it comes to sex, even if you can do it 1 week after you have delivered, so long as you are comfortable and you are fine, Please let the men have their fun. And you too, get your 3 points, your 6 points, and your 9 points. See you the next time. So if you have enjoyed this video, if there's anything that has, kicked you, share it, subscribe, like, comment, and tell people about what fun we are having here. Thank you very much.